Hi everyone, I'm Marla Miller from marlamiller.com presenting another quick query critique, and this is query letter number 95 that I'll be doing on this site. Just a heads up to those of you who have expressed interest in being the first author presented in the webinar series that I'm going to be doing at WebWise Writer. It's hard for me to say that. I always had an R lisp when I was little, and when I say certain words it really comes back. But anyway, for those of you who have, that's really cool. I'll be sending out a newsletter to you to let you know what the next step is. And for those of you who are interested in being a part of that webinar or interested in having your novel focused on, or your work focused on, fiction or nonfiction, let me know, because we're lining it up ASAP. I want to get the first one out in the next couple of weeks. Okay, let's do another quick query critique. Dear Blank, seeing that you have a special interest in stories set in Russia and the fact that Blank Press has a steady history of publishing books about Russia makes me think my novel could be a good contribution to this process. My novel Garden of Weeds is set in the former Soviet Union and begins in the middle of the 1980s when the communist superpower is on the verge of collapse, and so is Margarita's life. Margarita intends to solve her family's predicament, the infertility of her beloved husband, by seducing a man to conceive a child. She's determined not to see that man again. Timur, the man of her choice, is a talented pianist and composer, an amazing intellectual, and holds a charm of blatant sexuality. He makes love and children. He makes Margarita's head swim. Finding an infatuation where she's not supposed to, Margarita has to learn the hard way that the choices we make determine our destiny. I tell Margarita's story through the lens of my own life in Soviet Russia. As a graduate of the Moscow Institute of History and the Archives and a witness to the tragic perestroika events, sorry about that, which serves as a backdrop to the novel, I believe I am uniquely qualified to tell this story of human frailty and a woman's struggle to reclaim her identity. I am currently a member of the Romance Writers of America and Liberty States Fiction Writers. I placed first in the 2001 Blank Writers Associate Literary Contest and second in the 2010 Blank contest. A short excerpt from my novel was published in Blank newspaper. Gardens of Weeds is complete at 141,000 words. I'm working on another book that touches the same eternal subject, the deception of love and the woman's pursuit of happiness. Per your submission guidelines, I've enclosed a 2-page synopsis in the first 10 pages of the manuscript. Thank you for taking the time to review my materials. I hope to hear from you sincerely. Okay, so what do I think of Garden of Weeds? I will tell you that right off the bat, two things pop out. One is this author's credentials are terrific, and she offers them at the end. You know, she's won some contests, etc. with this novel. Cool, very cool. The other is that this is set in the former Soviet Union, I guess that's where I'm a little stuck. So it's set in the Soviet Union in the mid-1980s. Her protagonist Margarita is informed through this own writer's experience of living in the Soviet Union during that time. And so what I'm wondering is why I don't get any flavor of the Soviet Union in this query letter. Absolutely none. This could be about Staten Island. It could be set in Staten Island. It could be set in Sacramento, California. I don't have any sense of the Soviet Union in this, and I think that that's a problem. But what do I know? I mean, she's won some, awards already. It's just my humble, but it would seem to me that if this novel is set in the Soviet Union and it's seen through the lens of her own life in the Soviet Union, then I think a little bit of Soviet Union flavor should be leaked into this query letter so that we, not only have the story of this woman who wants to solve a problem that her family has, and that her husband's infertile and they want children, obviously. So I don't know where the Soviet Union is interfaces here at all. I mean, she could be, someone who's in any American city with the same issue of a beloved husband who is infertile, and she's trying to help him out. So what is it about this that sets this in the Soviet Union? Is there something in the Soviet Union in the 80s about infertility that maybe we should bleed into this? Is there, something? So that's all I'm going to say about this. Because she, again, has gotten such good traction, it seems to me. Um, she said that she's won some contests. Now, she didn't say it was this novel that did it, but I'm assuming. But if it isn't, I would encourage this writer to give me the setting is the Soviet Union, so it's a romance, cool, love it. But let's get a little flavor of the Soviet Union in it. I think, at least from my mind's eye, that's what this query letter needs. And so, other than that, you know, I'm not going to say anymore. I think that that's enough. So until the next time, be well, keep writing, and send those query letters because I'm certainly looking for some. That's it.